welcome address. Distinguished participants, on behalf of the project sponsor and implementing partners, I warmly welcome you all to this training session of the GEF-UNIDO Industrial Energy Efficiency and Resource Efficient Cleaner Production Nigeria project. Today's session, titled Business Planning and Corporate Strategy, forms the part of finance and investment component of our capacity building activities. It is in fact that the third part of the project. Under this project component, as you will agree with me, much has been achieved throughout the previous trainings, ranging from awareness creation to methodologies and technical aspects. This particular training will further expose participants to critical areas, including funding opportunities for energy and resource efficiency, green financing, proposal writing, and other avenues to effectively navigate the IEE and RECP framework. I therefore encourage you to listen attentively to the financial experts with us today, who will be doing justice to this important topic. Once again, I welcome you all to this capacity building session. Thank you and God bless.
A beautiful morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to see everybody here, some familiar faces. So let's get right into it. We will go around and do some self-introductions. And when the mic gets to you, I would like you to state your name, where you're from, of your organization, and what your expectations are for this training this morning. But before we get into that, the restrooms are at the back on the right, just on this floor. There's a door there for both the ladies and the gents. And if you need anything, you can ask at the desk just at the door. So quickly, the mic will go around. And when it gets to you, your name, your organization, and in one sentence, what your expectation for today's training is. My name is Mojisola Olatinwo.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Yomi Adeogun, the CEO of Josina De Company Limited. My expectation is today is to gain more knowledge on investment and finances in order for us to be able to plan well.
Awesome. Thank you very much, sir.
Good morning. My name is Hakmuni Peters from HSM International Limited, maintenance officer. I'm happy to be here. It's actually my first workshop. I'm hoping I'll be able to understand, financing and what UNIDO has to offer.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Begelia Gora from Abumet. My expectation is, they say knowledge is power. So I'm expecting to be empowered today. As I know, like the first training workshop was very impactful. And we believe that after today, we'll be more informed.
Thank
Good morning, everyone. My name is Philomena. I'm HSC lead in Abuja, Nigerian. My expectation today, well, it's to learn more about business planning and corporate strategies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning once again. My name is Taiwo Alabi. I'm a representative of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, and I work in the finance division. Okay, so my expectation, because I was part of the last training, okay? So in addition to what we learned, as in the strategy about the financing, so I want to learn more about the investment. Investment in the sense that there are different types of investments a company can go into. So the ones that are profitable, I want to learn more about it, and the green financing, the opportunities to be able to access loan or facility. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Obasa Luwajuruchimi Sunday. I am representing DOK Clothing Signature. I'm the accountant. So, what I actually want to learn here today, I was, like Mommy said, I was also part of this one. And then we enjoy a lot of things that was reviewed to us, I mean, about the business. About the business plan, aspects of the workshop. We learned a lot last month, but basically my expectation for this particular workshop is to learn more about the finance opportunities that's available. I'm actually looking out for cheaper finance opportunity, you know. so so I'm just looking out for opportunity that we could tap into, because we at DLK, we really intend to go into the green project of a thing. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Oloyede Wingan. I'm an environmental sustainability consultant and an executive of Nigerian Environmental Society, FCT chapter. My expectation in this training, after attending the first and second phases, is to really see the cost and the benefits of investing in IEE and RCP by an organization. Because if an organization has cheaper alternative of sourcing energy, so what will be the reason, the convincing factor for having to begin to spend a lot of the company's resources in alternative energy when it is still yet to be so much available? So I want to really see that cost and benefit analysis of the scenario. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next person, please.
Good morning. My name is Akim Ibrahim from Back of Industry. So my expectation is just to refresh, learn more on the new trend on finance and investments.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name, can we all hear me? My name is Ego Abba Kingsley. I'm representing HSM International Limited. We are industry into the production of bread and biscuits. So I'm the QA manager there. So I'm representing HSM. So I'm just here just to learn, unlearn and relearn. So because I've been following this program just from the phase 1 to phase 2. So I just want to learn what the phase 3 has in stock for us and how I can implement it in my day-to-day activity. Thank you very much.
Thank you. He's done his introduction. Can the mic come to this side of the room, please?
Morning, everyone. My name is Maimuna Sheo from Bank of Industry. Okay, for me, I intend to this training is okay, to be able to advise as on the Bank of Industry, we give finances to industries and industries, companies that want to either rehabilitate their existing machines or purchase new machines or to establish a new industry. So for me, this training is to help me advise my customers on which machines that will help them be able to maximize their profit and also help with the environment.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Patrick Tehemba from Bank of Industry. My expectation, going by what we have on the agenda, is to learn or learn and share more with, or get to hear more from the experts that will be discussing on the ratio analysis and financial health indicators. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nelson Oku, Bank of Industry. I expect the training to deepen my understanding of investment and, of course, the finance aspect of the UNIDO funds, and then to also have a good grasp of the funding options that are available, and then see where my organization can come in support of the investments.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Olagoke Ogunbiyi. So I also work with Bank of Industry. So my expectation for this program is because it's a financial statement. So I would like to learn more on how to actually interpret financial statements, the facts behind the figures, how to detect whether a financial statement is doctored or whether it actually meets the requirements as required by the accounting standard. Generally, how to interpret and establish that this financial statement is good to go, and we can actually avail credit to this company based on the financial aids. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Engineer Benga Olokide from Energy Commission of Nigeria. My expectation for this training, I was opportunity to be part of the phase 1 and phase 2. But for this training, my expectation is just to know more about the financial components of this project. Most of the time, due to the nature of our profession, we always talk about the technical aspect of it. And when we go out to industries, these are most vital questions. Industry asks us, if we invest in this project, what do we stand to gain? So I would like to know more about the financial component of this project. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you and good morning. My name is Ahmad Tijani, also from Energy Commission of Nigeria. Just like my colleague said, we are more of technical people. I head the Building Energy Utilization and Management Division, and we are more engaged in conducting energy audits and even in industries. I participated in the first training on energy audits, and I benefited a lot. Even though I missed the first and second finance training because I was away, but today I expect to be introduced into the finance aspects. Just like you said, we are more of technical, But even when we are conducting energy audits, it has to be financed. And part of what we used to tell the industry is that if you invest in efficient products, you are going to save more, both energy and cost. So I expect to see the connection. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Can we put? Oh, somebody walked in. So please introduce yourself, sir, your organization, and your expectation for this morning's training, or today and tomorrow's training.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Abganid Salau. I'm representing CEO Abganid. I'm CEO Abganid Taylor. Agoda Lapsis. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So, like I earlier said, the restrooms are at the back to the right. And if you need anything, the help desk is just by the door. So without much further talk, I think.
Thank you, madam. We can all see that we have more of a BOI in this meeting today. And simply put, they are to help this project. Like we normally say, there is a fund under this project, or there is a scheme rather under this project that you can lead on. You can borrow from that scheme at the interest rate of just 10%. So you know that is why they are here. And also they are the bank of industry. I want to let you know that the implementation of this project, we have implementing partners. And for today, I will be bringing in an international expert on finance by name Mr. Olawale Olamide Bogade. He's an expert in charge of business aspect of this project. He will do justice to this section. Mr. Olawale.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me clearly? Because I think, sorry. Good. Can you hear me now? Is it better now? If it's not, it's our voice. Welcome to today's training. Like I try as much as possible to do. I think I got some people's name. I missed some. So my name is Olamide. But what I try to do is I try to be as interactive as possible. But those that I got their name, I think I have some names here. If you don't mind, I would give up what we call nicknames.
One, two. Sure.
So our expectations are very clear. One is for us to gain knowledge, that is understanding what we are to talk about today. The other aspect is, okay, how do we apply what we have learned or what we are going to learn today? And the third part is, how do we review, implement, or understand the effect of what we are going to learn today? Those are the basic. I've summarized our expectations into three: understanding, implementation, and the review of our application. What we have learned, has it been helpful, or we still need to go further and look at some other things? However, before we go into the nitty-gritty for today, we just want to take us through um, what we've learned in previous classes when we talked about the business plan writing and all that stuff. So our agenda for today from my own end is, we need context. I'm going to be doing that by refreshing our memory of what we learned previously. We'll talk about introduction to financial statements, ratio analysis and financial health indicators, financing instruments. Then tomorrow we'll be talking about, we'll have a very interactive class talking about a case study. However, I think like Maoga said, we have a lot of BOI people here, and at the same time, I have a lot of financial experts like Madam Mama T and Mr. Sunday. They are both from finance. Any other person from a finance department, apart from these two? No other person. Anyways, as we go on, if I'm stuck somewhere, I have people that can quickly bail me out. So please, Mr. Sonne, please prepare yourself to, provide the necessary assistance and shocking when it is needed. All right. So my name is Olamide Bodede, like Mr. Oladipo has introduced. Just a brief introduction about myself. I started my experience, or my professional experience, as an auditor. From there, I went into the health industry as an internal control manager, tax accountant. From there, I went into the oil and gas industry to gain understanding, knowledge in that space as well. We moved into public health. After the public health, I went into the agriculture space. So the man you are seeing standing in front of you is a farmer. For those that you understand Yoruba, Agbe. Do you know what they call Agbe? Agbe ni mi, right? So I know about maize, beans, and all. So if you have any what's it called, concerning agriculture, if you have a small farm in your house, I can also provide assistance. So from there, we are into business consulting. So that is why I'm here. So that's just a brief about Olamide. So let's get the ball rolling. So how many of us were here for the last training session? Not the technical now, talking about the business plan. What's it called? How many of us were around? How many of us? Okay, I think. Oh, a lot of people are not around. Okay, thankfully we have the opportunity to refresh us, and for some of us that were not here, to catch up with what was taught in the last session. So refresher from the previous class, we talked about RECP and IEE. What does it mean? What are the key drivers for IEE and RECP? We also talked about the framework for assessing viable projects, why business plan matters, and building blocks of a business plan. Then we also looked at a case study. So we'll start with the definition of RECP and IEE. So some of us said we've been like KC. Can I say KC? Yeah, like KC said, he has been part of the phase 1, phase 2. This is the phase 3. So please help me just tell us what RECP and IEE, what does it mean?
As we all know, RECP is an acronym for Resource Efficiency, Cleaner Production, while IEE is an Industrial Energy Efficiency. So what these things are just talking about, they're just trying to make sure that how we can use energy efficiently, in saving the environment, which is major key, then how efficiently energy and also energy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, KC. So let me start this way. As individuals or as daddies and mummies in our respective homes, do we have areas in our homes that we spend a lot of money on? Do we have? Can we give us examples of some of the things we spend money on in the home that are a bit, that every time we complain about them, that we are spending so much money on this stuff? Anybody help me? Anybody wants to help? Okay, Mr.
It's energy and home appliances. You spend money on it.
Energy and home appliances. I know that recently, I think everybody now, they have categorized us into band A, band B, band C, and all that. So for so many of us, probably we are in band A. I know we all complain about the energy consumption that, please put off that light, put off that AC, don't leave that fridge on. If you are not there, why, we shout on our kids sometimes and all that. Apart from energy, what other aspects do we spend money on? Mama T, Mrs. Taiwo, yeah, good morning, ma. Yes, sorry, I was saying that we'll be calling ourselves nicknames. So your own is Mama T. And thankfully, when you were introducing yourself, you said you're from the finance department. So you and Ogasoni, if I hook anywhere, you bail me out. All right? Thank you. So please, can we tell me what, apart from energy, what other areas do we spend money on as individuals? Huh? Food, transport. Yes, let's keep mentioning. Any other one? Cooking gas, school fees. Okay, any other one? House rent. Okay, so with some of the things we have mentioned now, as individuals in our respective homes, how have we been able to manage those costs that we said are out of line? How do we manage them? For example, somebody said energy, and I've mentioned about, okay, how we manage our energy. Put off the lights, don't leave the fridge or don't leave the AC on there or whatever. But the primary key thing is you move away from the usual energy consuming ACs. A lot of us now, I think some people have smart homes where, for example, myself, all the ACs in my house now are inverter ACs. The refrigerator is inverter compliant. The freezer, that is one of the ways I feel I can cut costs. And since when the old A band B thing came up, I decided, okay, I needed to, maybe step up my energy, what's it called? So I installed a solar system, an inverter system rather. At some point, I had to even add additional solars. I think now I have about maybe 12 or 15 panels, just to ensure that, okay, my energy, what's it called, is reduced. Yes, it was capital intensive as at the time, but right now, it's paying off. All my generators, the two of them, I can't remember the last time I switched them on. I've saved money in buying fuel. But anyway, so KC has defined the RECP and IEE, the key drivers. So for those that were not here, we'll try as much as possible to have an interactive class. For those that were here, they will help us to provide answers to some of the questions or explanations to those that were not here. So like Casey rightly defined, resource efficiency is the use of energy, water, or raw materials in a sustainable and cost-effective manner. Cleaner production is minimizing waste and emissions at the source, not just the end of pipe treatment. Industrial energy efficiency, that is reducing energy consumption per unit of output through better technologies. So, in our houses, whatever example I'm giving, we'll try to use individuals, we try to use ourselves as examples before we now take it to organizational level. So that whatever it is that is applicable to us as one person, now imagine how is going to affect or how important it is to an organization. So now let's take it back to our individual selves. In our respective homes, we've mentioned about areas where, okay, the costs are high, and I've talked about um, energy. Somebody said school fees. So please, ma, you were not on seat when we were introducing ourselves. Yes, ma, please, can you introduce yourself and tell me how you have been able to manage cost in terms of school fees?
Want to manage this? Are we going to withdraw them from school? Okay. Good morning, class. My name is Oluwafunke Alawode. I work with Bank of Industry, Risk Management Department. School fees, yes, like we've all said jokingly, we can't withdraw our kids from school and we can't say they shouldn't go to school. But most importantly, we take them to school we can afford. So,
You can choose to take them to another school where you'll be paying less. I mean, in comparison to what you were paying before now. Choose to take them to another school. However, you also look at the quality so that you don't compromise quality as well. I'm sure if you look around, you'll be able to find one. And then also to just give another example, a way of managing our resources efficiently. If for now you put on generator to watch football match, for instance, instead of putting on generator to run and consume fuel in the house, you can quickly go to a viewing center. And you pay, okay, heck, you can buy a bottle of Coke. A bottle of Coke, please. Yeah. No, he said bottle, but let me just be clear of the bottle. A bottle of Coke. It will cost you like 200, 500 naira, depending on the location, of course. So with that, you would have been able to save quite a lot of money. Instead of running the journey in the house just to watch football. Thank you.
Very much. Madam, can I call you Madam Funky? Funky. That's Funky is fine, right? Thank you. So the examples given are very valid and I can relate with it. For example, there was a time my child was saying, okay, wants another school and whatever. We went out, we did a couple of surveys, we saw different schools. So began to dig deeper and ask questions about, okay, what is the school impact and all whatnot for us to, like you rightly said, quality is very important. You can't because of say that, okay, you need to manage costs, you just go and put them in Yoruba, we say, Jelio Simi school, like just go to school because I want my kids out of the house. As a parent, you'll be doing yourself a lot disservice if you are doing that. So we look at the quality and, okay, which one can we cope with in time. So yes, that's very valid. Then with respect to what he said, sorry, sir, your name again, sir? Mr. Nelson, okay, talking about watching football. Another thing is, with respect to that, you can decide to even, with what we have now, you can share your screen. There's DSTV stream on our phones now, right? With that DSTV stream, all you are just going to be paying for is data, right? You can just, okay, put it on your phone and just mirror it on the screen, let everybody watch. Okay, now, so let me now give you another example. I don't know I'll use myself. Please permit me to use myself as a case study on different scenarios now. So I have more than 3-4 decoders that I pay subscription on. And recently, I know that I think they've increased it to about, what did you say? It's not efficient, but it's not my fault. I am trying to be a responsible man. So I have one in my house. There's one in another of our house. My in-laws, I have to be a responsible in-law now. So I'll take responsibility for that. And also my parents. I can't be doing outside and not take care of my own parents. So I have about 5-6 locations like that. So recently, DSTV did what? They increased to about, is it not 49,000 or so for premium? And for somebody like me, I'm not just a football fan. I watch tennis, I watch Formula One and all. So I realized that, okay, dude, what's the way forward? So I looked around and I was like, okay, I have somebody in DSTV office now. Guy, what's going on? How can you help me? This thing is not sustainable. From 29,000 or how much to, I can't use all my earnings to pay for DSTV. So he said, okay, there is a package that he can help me with and all whatnot. So he registered me and from 49,000 on each decoder Currently, I pay 13,500 per decoder. At the end of every month, instead of me paying over 200 and something thousand, what do I pay on a monthly for all the decoders? About between 50 and 60,000 monthly. Is that not efficiency? 100%. The only station that is not there is what do you call this? This show. What do you call this show? Big Brother. That is the only show that is not there. Football is there. Station, Formula One, ESPN, tennis, everything is there. So now, you see what we are trying to do here now. What we are here is basically because we want to gain information. Whatever it is that we do in life, access to information is very, 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 very important. If you don't have information, you won't go far. Access to information is very, very key. So what we are trying to do here today is to gain information, to help us do what? Make the most of whatever we have at our disposal and to achieve. As organizations, our primary focus is to do what? To make profit. Organizations, developmental sector, their own is okay. They want to measure the level of impact they've had over the years. And some they are trying to at the same time make impact. So as a private entity, my own is to ensure that I'm always saving money. So for organizations will want to save money, and at the same time, they want to do what? They want to make profit. So we are getting information. So if anybody needs that information, you'll have to pay me to give you how you can manage. For those that are maintaining order. Look at the cost-benefit analysis of, do you even know how much I want to charge you to pay me? It's a one-time payment. I'm not saying you'll be paying me every month. Do you know how much I want to charge you? We can discuss after the class. Huh? Okay. Anyway, so we talked about it's not in any way sustainable. Yes, the company is trying to make profit, but at the same time, while you are making profit, you are also bleeding out. So please, our admin person, you come in, because you come into the office before everybody, please just put on 2 of these ACs first. Let it circulate. So that by the time people are coming in, you are not saying my office is hot or whatever. Now the next phase is, okay, we have to look at, okay, what else can we do? We brought in what you call these fans now, these rechargeable fans. So that even when maybe the central generator is not on to power the ACs or whatever, your fans are charged, you can still at least use that temporarily. While doing that, we were able to realize that, okay, at the end of the day, we've been able to save the organization some money. So it is very important to always look at how best we can save costs. As individuals, save money. As an organization, contribute your input for that organization to save money. Mama T, can I ask you a question, ma? You are with me. Okay. As the mommy of the house, I'm sorry, but your monthly allowance from daddy is about, let's assume it's about 500,000 to go to the market to buy the stuff in the house. On your own, please just tell us. We will not go and say it outside. Just tell us. Do you spend the entire 500 or you understand what I'm saying? So please tell us, how do you do it?
Thank you. Okay, so in response to the question, before, when there was no inflation in the economy, if there is a need to get some stuff into the house for, okay. All right. Okay, so if there is need to get some food items into the house, like I said, when there was no inflation, the money might remain. Okay, but now the money is not even enough. Yes, because for somebody to plan to go to the market, you have a list. Let's say from item 1 to item 20. And by the time you get to the market, with the money you are having in your hand or in your purse, you decide that at the end, instead of buying those 20 items, you go home with 15 items and the money will not still be enough. Thank you.
From what Mama T is just saying now, that what she is getting as monthly allowance is not enough. That she's subsidizing. Is that what you are saying? Okay, women will always be women. If you ask her now, they'll say there's no money. But anyways, let's move because of our time. I'll still come back to you, Mama T. So, what are the key drivers? What are the major reasons why we are doing this an IEE project in Nigeria? About the rise cost of diesel, electricity, and raw materials. We need to bring down that cost. At the same time, to ensure that we are compliant with the regulators, with the environmental regulators. Now, talk about growing demand for greener supply chains from international buyers. And the last one is opportunity for green finance and competitive advantage. As organization, somebody mentioned about interpretation of financial statement. That is that Mr. Oloyede? No. Somebody mentioned, I can't pick that now. Huh? Mr. Goki. You mentioned about financial information. So for example, let me quickly paint a scenario. We look at our financial statement. You are seeing on the, sorry, I'll get there, but let me just paint this scenario. You say you have a profit of 100,000, but before you arrive at that profit, you look at your operating expenses. You are seeing that under your operating expenses in 2024 and 2025, in 2024, you spent about 600,000 on electricity. In 2025, you are seeing that you have spent about 2 point something million. For you to interpret that financial statement on the face value of it, you look at what you spent last year and what you spent this year. For somebody that wants to interpret the financial statement, you know that something is wrong. You are spending almost ×3 or ×4 of what you spent last year. Why? Now, it is not a bad thing if your expense increases, but at the same time, is it reflecting on your bottom line? That is, are you making more money spending that money, or it's just because of environmental or economic reality is the reason why you are spending that much? If it's just based on economic reality, ladies and gentlemen, I will advise you that you go back to the drawing table and look for how you can manage that cost. So that is key drivers of why we are on this project. So we also discussed about the current RECP and IEE financing landscape in Nigeria. That is, this project we are on is currently being done in Nigeria by some organizations, commercial banks, and government agencies. Access Bank, in 2022, they issued green bond, a total of 15 billion in 2019. In 2022, as high as $50 million. If you ask some people here now, they say they don't know. It is not your fault that you don't know, but seeking information is very important. And thankfully, we are in an age where we can access any kind of information at the tip of our fingers. I'm pretty sure a lot of us we all have smartphones, and even beyond smartphones, there's the AI technology, GPT, and whatever. Access Bank, FCMB, Sterling Bank, CBN, via the likes of BOI and DBN. Fortunately for us, we have a lot of BOI people in the house today, so they will be telling us different opportunities and how we can access them. So please, Ma and SARS, by the time we are diving into the financing instruments, you guys will need to tell us, okay, what are those things, the ones that are available, and how easy can it be for us to access it? What are those things that we need to do or bring to the table for us to access? We also learned about the framework for assessing RECP and IEE projects. So the first thing first is, okay, identify as an organization. So how do we address that? So there are two things. It's either you identify the gap or you identify an issue. It's either you do something about it or you don't do anything about it. If you don't do anything about it, the result is there. You'll get your report card at the end of the day. But if you do something about it, you still get your report card at the end of the day. So the report card you get, you doing something and you not doing anything, is left to you. But for an organization, because our primary objective is to do what? To make profit. We have to do something about it. Because we cannot just leave our books and say, okay, we are spending 200 million on power or diesel every year. And we keep going on and on and on and on like that. That means the entire management team are not efficient. They need to go back and look at it. Okay, how can we reduce this cost? Considering the size of organization that we are and how we are trying to achieve our bottom line. So, identify gaps. You do nothing or you do something. If you are going to do something about it, like we always say, the first step to finding a solution to a problem is what? Sir? Identifying the problem. Thank you very much. Please, class, I would like to ask something. Is the class very cold? I mean the AC, or we are okay with it? Huh? We are okay. Okay, some are saying they are cold. Some are saying they are okay. So how do we balance it? Anyways, let's go on. We'll try and see how maybe we'll just alternate the temperature at some point. So, like we said, the first step to solving a problem is identifying the problem, right? Once you now identify the solution set, is either you find the solution yourself or you meet people to help you find solution to it. You engage people to help you find solution or you solve the problem yourself. So that is what we talked about, engaging stakeholders. Now, in trying to find solution to this problem, again, the energy issue as a case study. If you want to find a solution from the finance department or whoever now, what you do is you look at the number that you spent on electricity or diesel last year, 200 million. How much have we spent this year? 400 million. Now you analyze it. Why have you spent 200 or 400 million over a period of time? And at the same time, what is the effect of this 200 million that we spent last year? How much was our profit? Or how much are we able to save as an organization? As you are looking at it, you now say that, okay, the 400 million we have spent this year, is that the best we can do? Or there's something that can be done about it? If that's the best you can do, fine. But if that's not the best you can do, then you take a step further. You analyze qualitatively and quantitatively. So what do you do? While you are doing your analysis, you begin to come out with some end results. Like, okay, instead of us spending, can we change the type of generator we are using? That is one. Or can we say that we are even going completely off diesel propelled machine or whatever? Can we use solar system? Or can we say that, okay, whatever it is that we want to do, we'll outsource it. We'll outsource it to some organization to help us do, and maybe we'll save costs. So you analyze different situations. While you are doing that, you have options that, for example, like me now, I can't take, when I was in the agricultural space, I was not the sole decision taker. I'll prepare my notes, I'll go and discuss with my MD and director of operations and say, okay, sir, this is what we need to look at. But ideally, you're not supposed to go to them with just the problem. You go to them with the possible solutions. Why are you getting paid? We are getting you paid to provide solutions, to support the organization and not just bring headaches to me. No. Bring solutions. Now, it is now left to them to say, okay, this solution you have brought to us, we'll go with this option A, option B, and whatever. However, the access to the information that they need to take the decision is still going to come from you. So whatever report them decide A, side B, side C, or whatever, so that they can take appropriate decision. So once you have done your qualitative and quantitative assessment, you rank options and select the most visible. For example, you're talking about, okay, while I think it was in Kano, when we were discussing about, okay, possible issues and whatever. Somebody mentioned that, okay, because of the cost of diesel, gas rather, that what he would rather do is to downgrade from gas to charcoal. Everybody shouted, charcoal? He said yes, because he will be able to save more money and whatever. I can't forget that man's name. His name is Bello. It was like he would downgrade, that as a matter of fact, he would even cut off DSTV from the house. I said, you are looking for Wala, so Madam will not watch Z-World again or African Magic. He said it's none of his business, this one, that one. So, we rank the solution and we select the most visible. In my own situation, I cannot afford not to pay DSTV because my children, they have programs they watch. They don't watch it for 1 or 2 days. There was a time I was not around. I was now having a conversation with them evening time just to catch up on how they were doing and all. The first thing my son said is, Daddy, sorry, why is the DSTV not working? The man does not even care if I have the money to pay that subscription at the time. But the primary thing is, why is DSTV not working? He doesn't care. So I now explained to him, okay, sorry that it was network issues, blah, blah, blah. I said, which network are you using where you are? I was like, don't worry, okay, by tomorrow morning, before you come back from school, it will be fixed. The next day we talked. I was like, thank you, Daddy. 307 is back. 307, 309, 305. Those are their stations. He said it's back. I said, okay, good. So now, when you rank the solutions and pick the most visible. Now, after that point, where is the money going to come from? For example, as a family man, we have options. Do I buy a new car for the house? Or do we go and pay for mortgage? Or do we even buy, or do we go and start building? Do we buy the land and start building ourselves? These are possible solutions. We rank the solutions. Okay, if you buy a new car, yes, when we are going anywhere, we will not be sweating inside the car. Daddy will not be using handkerchief. Sorry, mommy will be angry that my makeup is smeck now. That solution is there. She'll be. Or do I go and look for a 4-bedroom duplex and deposit money and say, okay, we'll do a mortgage on it. We'll have space because as a family, we are increasing in number. And at the same time, I want my son to have his own room away from the daughter. Or do I say that, okay, this mortgage, they are saying is going to cost me 225 million. Can I go and buy land, maybe in Kuje or Ushafa for maybe 50 million and start building? Which one is much more efficient and effective for me? Once I arrive at that point, now the next question is, how much do I have? Okay, do I have the money to buy the Sienna? Or do I have the money to go and deposit for mortgage? Or do I have the money to start building? I will look at it, I will discuss with Madam. These are the options. What do you think? I'm pretty women that very, very, let me not say what I want to say. Let me not say what I want to say before I get into trouble. So at that point, we rank the options. Okay, do I have the Madam, okay, this is what I'm looking at to do, but we only have 45 million. What do we do? At that point, I'm pretty sure Madam will tell me, okay, let's go for the house or whatever. But okay, so how do I get the balance? Women, Mama T, I'm sorry, but no woman in this world can tell me she does not have money and I will believe. I'm telling you the honest truth. No woman can tell me that she does not have money and I'll believe. What they even do is, in that situation, there was a time we wanted to do a project. But as my wife, you are my support system now. They are supposed to help me. Guess what my wife told me? Mama T knows the answer because she has done it before. Can you tell us? Ha! Hey! So, when we wanted to do the project, my wife said, okay, how much do you have? I told her, okay, I have about 10 million. And so how do we get the balance now? She allowed me wander away. I went to drink tea, came back. She now said, babe, you know what we can do? There's this money that is with me. I will borrow you, but you'll pay me back. That is their line. Madam Funky, is that not what you do? You don't do that. You give him straight up. You have it together. Thank you very much. This Mama T, sorry, do you have a diary where you write some things? You have, what do you write inside the diary? A lot. How much allergy is owing you, Abi? Eh? How much allergy is owing you? That is it. They will tell you, can you remember in 2018? Ma, they are always bad debts. Don't we people borrow you money? We know they borrow you money. Don't we people borrow? Can you imagine? Okay, the one you are borrowing us is for what? Is it not for the family? It's to be paid back. But the one we borrow you is what? Hey! It's investment in the family. It's investment in the family. Wow. You keep learning every day. Learning is progressive. So, the money I give my wife is investment. The money she gives to me is loan. It's still good. Pay back without interest. Okay, so now let's continue. So at that point, when you have your solutions, possible solutions, the next thing you do is, where is the money going to come from? Can we finance these operations with what we have? Or we need to look for money somewhere? If you have to look for money somewhere, where do we go to? That is why we have BOI here today. To give. They don't have the money. Mama T. Eh? Which one is the do? Are you not part of BOI? You are from where? Eh? As a matter of, you are from Man. Okay, sorry. You are from Man. Sorry, please. Where are the BOI people? Madam Funky, you people have the money to give us now. Eh? No, let them say it now. There's money. Confident. Don't worry, we'll get there. There's one example. You see the confidence level that when intake talk say we have. When man get money for pocket, the confidence level they choke, it be high. But if bar no day, we go turn them to fight, enter, go sleep. Anyways, we talk about internal or external funding. So as an organization, how do we get funded? Are we getting loan from BOI? Are we financing it from what we have as an organization? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you for free right here, right now, that loan to run your business is not a bad thing. But where the problem is the fact that the loan you are getting to run your business is hooking you. And why is it hooking you? It's either you have not done your homework properly before you went to get the loan. Or two, the current economic reality has changed the entire thing. However, when the economic reality is the issue, what do? You go back to the drawing board and look at it. Okay, what are the areas we can make necessary adjustments? And you do that. Or you can decide that, okay, let's get a loan from BOI and we also finance it. So if you are trying to ensure that the loan you are trying to access become a problem or do not stifle you that you won't be able to sleep at night. For example, now some people, their phone, they have blocked so many numbers because they went to collect loan from all these, what do you call them now? Shark. Fair money, OPay, this, that, and that. When it's time for you to pay, you just put your phone on silent. You won't pick call. You'll be selective. Before you pick call, you go and check through caller. Who is calling? Okay. You drop the phone. But if it's your family member, so that those people will not even catch you, they won't see that you are on a call or call waiting. I'll call you back at night. Or maybe you are going to, the next thing you will see, you just check your account balance. You have, this one actually happened to me. I was very low on cash. So cash that was in my account, I was just sure that, okay, I buy fuel when I'm supposed to buy, do this, do this. I wasn't doing beyond my limit. I wasn't going out to go and look for a bottle of to drink, to watch football. But ladies and gentlemen, guess what? LinkedIn from nowhere. They just came. They just deducted money, subscription. I woke up that morning, I was like, who stole money from our account? I was worried because I was planning myself, like, okay, I need to manage this cost, this. At the end of the day, I realized that, okay, it's LinkedIn. With vex and anger, I just went to, first of all, go and I took out the subscription first. Like, So, debt, that is, you get loan, you finance it from yourself, or you combine the two. If you are trying to combine the two, that is, in my own opinion, is the best way to do business. Because if I'm going to Madam Funke's organization now, and I tell them, okay, I want to access 500 million naira loan. But in my books, they are saying that, okay, maybe in my bank or in an investment, I have about 100 or 150 million. They'll be like, okay, these guys are not doing bad. We'll still get there. We talk about financial ratios and a whole lot of other things. I'm just saying that sometimes when you want to, if I'm going to my madam now that, okay, please, can you borrow me money? I want to buy a house. The next question she will ask me is what? The next question she will ask in that instance is what? How much? If I tell her I don't have anything, what do you think she will do? She will stand up and leave me there. She will leave me in the parlor. She says she wants to go and sleep. I'll enter the room, I'll just, please, don't touch me, good night. But when she asked me, okay, how much do you have? I said, the house is actually 220 million, but I have about 150. Next thing is, okay, 70 million. Next thing is, so where do you want to get the money from? I tell her, that's what I'm discussing with you. I don't know. How can you help me? The first answer is, money. Give her like 30, 40 minutes. Just leave her inside the room first. Go. You are not interested in watching TV at the time, but just go. Just put on the TV, cross leg. She will come and meet you. Are you not coming to sleep? Just tell her, I'm thinking about, come, don't worry. That's about it. She will bring you back into the room and say, okay. Mama T, do you have piggy vest on your phone? She has it. A funky show. Do you have piggy vest on your phone? Where you hide those phones? You don't have. Which one do you have? Full disclosure. Respect. Anyways, at that point, the next thing is, okay, I can help you. Tell you, I want to discuss with this person. Meanwhile, now she get that money. I can help you talk to somebody that can borrow us. You see, you understand everything they. From experience, I'll speak to my sister or my brother. I know that she had some money, she's something. I'll help you get the money. The next, when are you going to return it? So I'm trying to use our individual lives to explain how the processes will go through with BOI. Because they will tell you, okay, how much do you want? They will look at your books. How much do you have? How are you going to pay back? If they are seeing that, okay, maybe in 4 or 5 years you are not making profit, it's a loss. What are you doing? They'll throw you out. You will still get there. Anyway, so putting all these things together will make a good business case. So, why business plan? Why business plan? Why it matters project? Like I was telling some people somewhere, if you want to do any project, no matter how small it is, the first thing you need to do is write some things down about that project. I'll use myself as a case study. Yeah, even though I'm in the agricultural space at some point, I said I wanted to do a greenhouse. How many of us know what a greenhouse is? Do you know what a greenhouse is? Yeah. I wanted to put up a greenhouse. But with the fact that, okay, I'm in the space, I have an understanding or whatever, does not give me the liberty to just dabble into the project and start building or start constructing the greenhouse to say I want to generate money. I sat down and looked at it, okay, what resources do I have? These resources, how am I channeling the resources into what land, the equipment we need to setting up, what am I, so that by the time there is a shift or there is economic reality hits us somehow, I can always go back and look at that document and say, okay, we need to make adjustment. So I would tell everybody that a business plan is what? Is a strategy document that is important for every organization, every business. Either you are doing a project or as a family. So, like me now, at the beginning of every year, every second Sunday of the year, family meeting, we bring out our Excel sheet. What are we doing this year? What is our possible income? What are our expenses? If we do that, we now look at it and say, okay, we are generating a total of 10 million this year, but what we are going to be expending or how much we are going to be spending this year is well over 15 million. So how do we get the balance? If you do not have it written down, if you are just doing it from the top of your head, realize that you've gone far astray, you've collected loan, that even the salary for that is coming next year will not be able to cover. But if you have it written down, black and white, and you say, okay, generation of revenue is 10 million. All our expenses is 15 or 20 million. Now, the next thing that will be striking our head is two things. Out of all these expenses we are trying to incur, which one take out? Or all these expenses are very important. We cannot take out anyone from them. So the next option is, how do we increase revenue? Those are the options we look at. So, as a man, if you look at it and say, okay, madam, you have said you want to go on vacation twice this, can we reduce it to just one? If you can reduce it, you are doing what? You are saving costs. Madam say, no, you cannot reduce it. What are you supposed to do as a man? You start thinking of, okay, what other side also can I quickly do that will help me generate money to do that? So, business plan, it clarifies vision and value. As a family, I know I still have one more project to do in my home this year. That is based on the fact that we have it written down in black and white. As an organization, I'm pretty sure at the beginning of the year, every organization, or before the end of, by now, this is September, between October and November, a lot of organizations will start doing what they call the budget for next year. Am I correct? So that budget for next year is what? It's like the strategy document for you to operate with in 2026. Are we together? So as family, as individuals, we should also have that too. So whatever is happening, whatever we can manage or do as individuals ourselves, those things, whether we like it or not, it transcends, it shows wherever we are working. So but the reason why we are here is at the organizational level, but I try to, as much as possible, let us see the reasons why as individuals we need to put some things into perspective for ourselves so that it will show. There's this saying in Yoruba, like character is like smoke. It will show at the end of the day. So if you're in a finance department and by the time your salary comes, within 2 to 3 days, salary don't go. Second or third of the following month, you're already calling your colleague, Baba, abeg, I see 2K there quickly. The guy will look at you and be like, this person you are calling is in operations. He has been able to manage his own money. But you wait the finance. Regardless of, okay, even if you are doing projects, that is the reason why breaking things down is very important. Okay, you want to do a project. As a rational human being, if you are going to do a project, that does not mean you should not be able to have money to buy fuel in your car to go to work, or you should not be able to provide transport, maybe for your children or whatever, to go to school. Because you are doing a project does not mean every other thing. But that is why a strategy document is very important. Let's put it down in black and white. Are we together? Also, business plan guides implementation. At the organizational level, they will tell you this, and this we have to do in Q1. We need to buy these chemicals because this period is always not so busy. We'll get it at a cheaper rate. But if you decide to go and buy it in Q2, that means because the price will have gone up. For example, in the agriculture, the best time to buy your input, the fertilizers, the chemicals, and whatever you want to use, is during dry season because they know that people are not planting. At that point, you see it cheaper. It's even the suppliers that will beg you, okay, don't worry, we'll give you a discount, this, that, because they need to move their stock, their inventory, it has to go out, they need to sell. So buy and keep in your warehouse. But when you go around maybe April, May, when it's raining season, you'll be begging them, they'll tell you, the last time you bought it was how much? 46,000. Right now it's 52,000. And because you need to plant, you'll be left with no option. At that point, your cost is increasing because you did not follow proper plan. So a strategy document or a business plan guides our implementation when we are to do what and why you are supposed to do it at that time. If you are going outside that line and you are not doing it when you are supposed to do, you must have cogent reasons. In my organization, at some point, we do what we call variance analysis on a quarterly basis. Okay, Q1, we said we are going to generate 200 million. Did we generate the 200 million? No. Question is, why? Okay, because some of the customers, this, that. For example, how many of us know USAID? Do we know USAID? Huh? USAID. United States, USAID, yes. Do we know them? So what happened earlier in the year with USAID? What happened? Huh? They shut down. Now, a lot of agricultural companies took a hit for that because some of their customers or whatever, you said it's not about making profit. Their own is impact. How do they support to get maybe food security, health, or whatever? But what happened? President Trump came in and said, ladies and gentlemen, these guys are wasting money. We are not doing this anymore. But based on the fact that this is going on for years, a lot of organizations have done what? They've included what the money they use, or maybe what you come and buy from them in their books. But because you said, no, we are no longer in business, what happens to that organization? It's either a loss of revenue or at the same time, they close shop themselves. So in that instance, a strategy document, by the time you are implementing, okay, we are saying that we are supposed to generate 200 million in Q1. So what happened? Why didn't we generate that money? We have a reason. Okay, according to our budget, or we say based on our strategic document, we have planned or we have projected that you said will give us so money, or some customers will come and buy these materials from us at a particular period. But because you said it's no longer in business, they couldn't do that. That is justifiable. However, as an organization, the next thing they will ask you is, okay, how do we ensure we do not find ourselves in this kind of situation again? We identify that risk, and how do you mitigate it? We will get there. So also, business plan helps us finance. If I, for example, the strategy document of my business plan for the greenhouse, and in that document, I made a provision that, okay, my own capital to do this business is 200 million. However, the size of what I'm looking at, I will need a loan of additional maybe 200 million. And in my document, I have shown that, okay, if I get the loan, this is how I'll be paying the money back. And by the time I'm done paying this loan back, by so number of years, we'll be making maybe 200 billion in profits. If I pick that document and I go to Mama T now and say, Mama T, please, I need loan for this business. You say, what do you want to use it for? At that, it is not business-wise, or it is not appropriate for me to be talking off head. What do I do? Please, ma, you can review this document. Look at it. This is my business plan. If she looks at it and she says that, she's not comfortable with my repayment plan of the loan or whatever, I can now go back. We can now start discussing and say, okay, you at 17% is what you can do. She's saying, no, 17% is too small. Can we do 20%? We negotiate. But you cannot be doing all those kind of conversation with just words of the mouth. You have to make recourse to a document. That is why we say that business plan also helps unlocking finance. And also it shows, it connects the dots, shows how the effect of the greenhouse I'm doing, how are we going to, what is the end result? I'm trying to make money, but at the same time, what are we trying to do? We are trying to ensure that there's food security within the system. Are we together? We are taking a lot of time on this. So finally, we talked about the building blocks of a bank RECP project. What do you mean by bankable RECP? That is what we can take to the bank and they will give us audience. That is what we can take to Madam Funke and say, this is our document. And thankfully, she's also from the RICS department. They are the ones that will either sign off or sign you out. They'll be the one to look at what you have and say, okay, this business is viable enough, but it's not going to be viable. They have good numbers, they don't have good numbers. So we identify the problem, we propose the RECP solution, and also while we are doing that, we are ensuring that we are trying to be with the regulators. Once you do that, you look at your implementation plan. How do we intend to go about it? How many months is it going to take for us to set up this plant, all the importation processes and whatever? You look at that. Who are those that will handle setting this thing up and whatever? Then you look at the risk. You cannot, for example, when I was in the oil and gas, then it was from BOI, we were able to access between $10 and $20 million loan to bring in vessels. But unfortunately, it was a one-man business. So we did an analysis and we said that, okay, some of these decisions that are to be taken, because we are not technical people, we cannot take a stand on some of these things. So the best thing for us to do, let us get consultants, let's get experts to help us analyze these areas, blah, 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 and so that the appropriate decision can. But lo and behold, that decision was not, our recommendation was not followed. The owner of the business thought, okay, maybe these guys are just trying to bring in people to get money and whatever. He took the decision on his own. He traveled. He went to Singapore to go and look for vessels or whatever. Unfortunately, the vessels came in. The vessels didn't work. At the end of the day, the money he didn't want to spend, he had to spend times two, because we had to get a consultant and at the same time make a recourse to ensuring that the items that got spoiled on those vessels, we had to fix them. We had to import some other things. So it is very important to identify certain risks in business, like look at it, okay, if you do this, what is going to be the outcome and whatever. If those things are happening, they won't come to you as a shock, because you already planned yourself that, okay, if something like this is happening, this is what we are going to do. But if you don't identify any risk or whatever, you just do it. By the time those risks come, the only thing where they'll be seeing the result is your blood pressure. It will just be going up. You won't be able to sleep. They will give you food, say, I can't eat. It's headache. But while you are putting these things together, for example, these greenhouse projects now, they've told me certain risks that will probably come up. There's a time where some kind of diseases come into play. We do. Before, like a week or two before we enter that period, we apply certain chemicals that by the time those pests or whatever are coming in, once they eat those, they die off. Rather than me I'll spend a whole lot of money, I'll have like maybe 4 or 5, 8 by 48 meters green, and I'll just get there one day and it's turning yellow. After you have invested money, you have applied fertilizer, you have done a whole lot of whatnot. So risk identification and mitigating those risks are very, very important, even in our home as individuals. Are we together? Then after you identify the risk and you mitigate them, you go to your executive summary and it becomes a document. So all these things we've been saying try to help us catch up with what we So maybe because he's planning to take her out to Santorini, from there to Paris and whatever, she's expecting that night, surprise, surprise, Alaji will just fling the business class ticket to her and whatever. Alaji will come on, please, what do you have to eat? She'll give him food. And the next morning, Alaji has dressed up and now said, he's traveling. You are traveling. Well, she'll still be making recourse to that plan. And all of these things is based on the fact that, okay, maybe the project is trying to do where he's supposed to get money from and all that. So where I'm going basically is, you can have as much plan as you want in this life. If you do not have money to execute it, it's just a dream. As an organization, we can decide that we want to do so many things in 2026 or 2029. We want to expand our business to so. We want to start exporting some things and all whatnot. But if you don't have the money to bring in the materials or the machineries that would help you achieve that, you're just a storyteller. So finance is the lifeline, it is the blood. Papa, if you understand what I'm saying, even as men in the house, if there, ladies and gentlemen, peace you experience is extra. But if there is no money, you watch your steps. So you just, once you get home like this, you ask, good evening, how are you? Everybody's okay. You don't ask if there is food. You allow her to come and meet you. Are you hungry? At that point, be very careful. You say, I've been hungry since morning. But when they'll prepare a table because they know that, okay, this month is Friday, our normal allowance this month is 500. Or even as a person, Mama T has collected 1,000. He said, just go and buy hair. Give me additional 50,000 to change my makeup back. He has changed my tires, or he has even decided. She'll go the extra mile to ensure that even if na croaker in the chop before, she'll go and look for some special kind of fish to prepare for you to eat. So in essence, what I'm saying is money is very, very important. If funds are not there, all your business ideas or whatever. So why we are here is to understand, okay, what is needed? We want to do this, we want to do that. What is needed for us to be able to achieve that? And how do we go about it to ensure that we present something that will bring value to us at the end of the day? Now, we're talking about the funding case. In Nigeria currently, we have a lot of issues. But for organizations, even like we identified when we started, what are the major issues that major line items in our home that are expensive for us to achieve, that we are expending money on? The first thing we mentioned was energy. Somebody mentioned school fees, DSTV, gas, these house rents, and all whatnot. Nigeria industry face high energy and water costs. I think that one is really straightforward. Financial. Just sharply go to operating. I will get there, sorry. If you look at some line items, it's sacrosanct that these expenses are up there. But how do we ensure that we manage those costs? So another issue is, how do we meet regulatory compliance? Management. Yeah. Thank you very much. So you see what we've just mentioned now. These are some of the things. These are some of the take cognizance to while we are putting our documents before we go to Madam Funke. She is the one in charge. She's the one that will risk assessment, risk management. She's the one that will tell you some of the key, as we go on, some of the key things that she will particularly be looking out for in your papers for her to say, okay, she will give you or not. Right? So these factors have led to billions in RECP and IE investment, but financing gaps exist. So what we are saying is, as all of us are seated here now, there are a lot of financing opportunities that are currently ongoing that we do not know about. Like I said, access to information is very, very important. If you have information and you use it right, it benefits you, and at the end of the day, you'll be glad you did. For example, some people had some information. I'll use, how many of us got, what's it called, money from CBN in 2020 during COVID? How many of us got money? Did anybody collect money? Did you, CBN was giving out money in 2020? Eh? Ah, she collected. You did not. Your sister collected. Has she paid back? You don't know. Go and ask your sister if she had paid back. If she has not, I'm pretty sure they will have deducted the money from her. Now, a lot of people in 2020, so many people didn't know that the CBN was giving out money. They gave us was 500,000. Yes. And you didn't know. Yes, people applied. The funny thing is, I can even ask you, Mama, give me your name, your phone number, your BVN or whatever. I'll go and use your name to apply. They will give me the money. So there was a fault from their own end that one person can apply numerous times. You should use your own details and all. But in that situation, you apply with other people's details. Now, what are they doing? They are deducting the money at source. So currently, if you feel, because you have collected money from Fair Money now, you will not be. They will move the money. So a lot of people that collected. So I have some people that because which excuse you won't give? You say you want to go and buy something for what? You are not going anywhere. We stay here together in this house. 247. What's that movie that we watched? You know, now a guy of mine was just like, he just 750,000. From where? He was shy. He told somebody in his bank to help him find out. That one told him, guy, CBN, they've collected their money. He said, which money? That guy now said, okay, brought out the history and whatever. So please, if it is very important for us, even as individuals, you can just reach out to your account officers, please help me carry out a credit search on my account. Just so you have an idea if there is anything that anybody, maybe village people have used your account to access funds and whatever. Are we together? So let's move on. Without finance, plant store, opportunity and all, industries lag behind their global peers. So our current reality now, we are talking about IE and RCP projects, right? So now let's look at what is happening globally and what's where we are. At the global level, energy efficiency investments reached 660 billion in 2024. But ladies and gentlemen, our current reality in Nigeria is that we have only been able to access less than 10% of that. as at date. Less than 10%. In 2024, Africa attracted at least you are supposed to have 10%. But our current reality in Africa is we just got 2% of that. So you can see that the margins are very wide. So after this, I want to believe that a whole lot of us will get into this to access different opportunities. Okay? So Nigerian financial institutions are beginning to respond. A lot of, apart from PFI, the likes of BOI and GPN and whatever. Commercial banks, like I mentioned earlier, Access Bank, FCMB, First Bank, a lot of them are beginning to get into that space to ensure that we get, access to a whole lot of things. So, our objective, you've given us our expectations. So my own objective to you is to understand financial statements. Learn tools that are used by financials. Somebody mentioned that he wants to use financial ratios to interpret financial statements, right? Is that Mr. Goke, if I'm correct, Ola Goke, right? So, we'll talk about those financial ratios that the likes of Madam Funke will look out for once you submit the document to them straight up. And how do we apply them in a practical case for us to develop a document that we can take to either the commercial bank or the PFIs, which are the likes of BOI, for us to access these funds. Are we together? All right. Introduction to financial statements. And we've talked about what financial statements are. So, financial statement is important. A financial statement is a record that summarizes the what? A statement that summarizes your financial operation within a particular period of time. That is what a financial statement is. It also on what your business owes, and how much you have spent, right? So let's not waste too much time. So we all understand what financial statement is. However, this financial statement now, there are different types. There are different types of this financial statement. We have four types of financial, four elements of financial statement. One, you have the balance sheet. I will explain. The balance sheet, income statement, statement of cash flow, and statement of changes in equity. So now, literally, from the word balance sheet, can you tell me what that means? Balance sheet. I feel like, let's start from there. Balance sheet. Alaji, you want to help me? Don't give me your answer. I don't want your own answer. That sheet that is balanced. Valentine, go stand for back. Go and stand at the back. Tell me what a balance sheet is. Please try. Oh.
Okay. So balance sheet is basically the document that talks about your assets and your liability.
Thank you very much. He has summarized it. It's a statement that talks about your assets. Now, income statement. Okay, let me go and come back. Casey, it's been a while you chatted me. Can you just tell me what does it mean?
To me, it's just your credit flow. That's like what's coming into the organization. That's your credit flow. That's what to me I think.
Akman, right? Can you tell me? Income statement, what does it mean? Literally.
As it implies, just money that comes in to business.
Abuja Oladipo from Federal Ministry of Environment. RECP. Okay, just shows what comes in, I think. Yes.
Very much. Any other contribution? Income statement.
Okay, income statements shows the income and the expenditure of an organization at any point in time.
I got myself. She's a finance person too. Thank you very much. Income statement shows financial performance. Yes, for all those that have contributed, we are correct. It shows what comes in, but it doesn't end at what comes in alone. As spending money, you're also expending. So that statement shows the performance of how what you've earned or what you've generated as revenue is compared to what you have expended. So it's from there you know if you are doing well or you are not doing well. Cash statement is different. Cash flow statement is a statement of where do we channel the money to? It's a movement, it's just a statement that shows how money moves. So income statement is a statement that shows what you earned. You recognize all the money you've earned. Yes, either cash sales or credit sales or whatever. And at the same time, what you expended money on. So for what we generated is more than what we spent, or what we spent is more than what we generated, to show us if our business is profitable at the time profitable. Are we together? So, the essence of financial statement is to communicate the project viability. Said you can say so many things from the top of your head and whatever. For any reason, or any business-oriented person is okay. You have told me the business you begin to export whatever. The next thing I would like to hear or what I would from you is how much are you going to generate? How much spending? From that alone, if you just show me your, if I see your income statement or your projections, you are saying, when I start the business in 2026, year one, I'll make loss of 100,000. Year two, loss of 400,000. Three, loss of 600 million. Year four, loss of 1 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think will come to my head? Eh? Ma? It's sinking. I'll just look at it like, okay, this kind of business doesn't look like a business that will.
When you make investments, you are not going to recoup it maybe some years. So we can't basically judge it based on the fact that they are making loss. But we will have look at how long it takes them before we now can conclude.
People that when I get to a point, when I hook, I'll call the person. Yes. What we have said is just very correct. When we get to the ratios, we'll be able to explain to us that as individuals now, if you go to the hospital that you want to do a test, it's the only malaria test they will do for you. They'll do. All right. So our financial statement also shows the lenders from our financial statement, Madam no, if this business will be able to pay back this money within a stipulated period, or I will not be able to pay back. And also provide evidence for sustainability linked outcome. Now, business. How many of us watch this channel on DSTV 175? What I'm trying to say is businesses are set up to outlive us. Nobody will want to set up a business that you expect to pack up in 2 years. There's what we call going concern. Every business that we set up, we are set up with the mindset that this business will continue. Now, perpetuity. So now what I'm saying is that channel that I watch is all about whatever. Some of these businesses have been in existence since 1940 something, 1951. They have been passing it generation after generation. There was one that started, I think, 1890 something, 1892 or thereabout. And I wonder how. Going concern is very, very essential in business. So now let's break it down one by one. Balance sheet. Valentine said is a statement that does what? A balance. Abi? Okay, it's the one that's is okay, so you are the one that's you said okay. Okay, so if you are going to let's have an agreement, let's have an MOU between us. If you are going to tell us about balance sheets, specific for the class to understand. Not a problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I won't continue the lecture. Once again, my name is Nelson Okuta. I work with BOI. Okay, so balance sheet, in the simplest term, is what you owe and what you own. I don't know if that is clear. The things that you are owing people, other people, and the ones that belong to you, that is balance sheet. In essence, it shows you a position at a particular day. It's a snapshot. And usually it is at the end of the period. I don't know if that is clear. Sorry? No, I can continue. I can talk about it. I can talk about it all day. Okay, so like I said, it's a snapshot, it's a position at a particular date. That is why it is called a statement of financial position. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, can we give Mr. Nelson a round of applause, please? Thank you very much, sir. So, he has done justice. So now, it's a statement that shows own and what you owe at a given time. So what are those things that you own? You two are a finance person. Let's give the non-finance person. No, I don't want finance people now. Let's give the non-finance opportunity. What are those things that we own?
Infrastructure, and then your stock.
Okay, infrastructure and stock. Good morning, sir.
My name is Samur Salanu from Federal Ministry of Environment, RECP DEX. Equipment and machineries.
Any other person? Ah, Madam Philip. Thank you very much. Now, say, most of what we have, all what we have mentioned now, they are all a type of assets. Human resources are assets, that is human capital. It is an asset. But in my own case, I'm not putting it into what I'm talking about. Sir? Still won't collect my, don't worry, I'll give it my phone. So now, because of our time, let me just say this. Balance sheet shows what your company owns, controls, and how much it owes at a specific time. Right? So we said the formula there is saying assets should equate your liabilities and your equity. So the first one we are talking about is assets, right? And you've given us different examples of assets. But I would say to us that there are two assets. There are two types of assets. So now we have what we call fixed assets. And the other type of asset is current assets. So all the examples we have gotten now, they are fixed assets. We talked about the building, we talked about land, equipment, and all those things. For example, hold on, sir, hold on. Now look at this oil. The palms, right? Is what? Huh? What type of asset is it? Huh? Fixed assets. So now let's take it further. You mentioned current asset. What is a current asset? Hold on. Finance people, don't raise hand. I will come to you people when I need help. Khadija raised her hand. Current asset.
Okay, I think current assets would be how they make money with the fixed asset.
Okay, I'll explain.
Okay, I would say money. The money.
Okay, next person. Okay, please, everybody.
I feel like just in normal, I'm just using my own psychology. Like when you say something is fixed, you're talking of something like the company, like this. The company bought it, and it's like something they can't. I won't say they can't control at that time, but like it's fixed. It's like when we're talking about the building, the company has already bought their building. It's fixed. But when we're talking about current, it's something that can be controlled.
I'm at T now. Right, class.
Okay, so current assets. Current assets are the assets that you can convert to cash easily. For example, cash itself, stock, and receivables. Yes.
Thank you very much. So let me summarize it this way. Fixed assets are assets that last or that are in an organization for more than a year. Current assets are assets that you can revolve cash with the shortest period of time of 1 year. Are we together? So she has given us examples of assets. We talked about cash. So somebody mentioned receivables. So explain what receivables are. Receivables are what your customers are owing you. Do you understand? What your customers are owing you. You know that, okay, maybe 10 bags of cement to this particular person. I'm selling 10 bags of cement to Khadija now in January. But she has told me that she cannot pay me immediately, but by June, she'll pay me. So at that point, we've sold our goods to her. We have recognized revenue, but we've not collected our money. It's our asset. It belongs to us. So we have to ensure that within the stipulated period of time, you go and meet her and say, Ajia, how far, where's our money? That is receivables. Another example of current assets that I would like to tell us is prepaid rent, prepayment generally. There are different types of prepayment. So let me explain what prepayment is. Prepayments are money that you have paid in advance. Service. Do you understand? You have paid this money to this person. For example, our landlord now. I've paid. My landlord will tell me, okay, your rent is annual, 15 million. So at the beginning, I'll pay my landlord that 15 million. But that 15 million is supposed to cover me for 1 year. What I will do is I will recognize that 15 million in my books as an asset. So on a monthly, when I know that just go and I'll know that I've used for 3 months out of that rent, but I don't pay this person in advance. Another example is insurance. Every organization should have insurance policies on the equipment, motor vehicles, and whatever in our organization. So the money you pay to the insurance company that, okay, oh, we are paying you this money so that we'll have insurance coverage on our motor vehicle for the next 1 year. Even though you have paid it in advance, to them you have not enjoyed the service. Your money is with them, but it's an asset to you. Are we together? Is it clear? Is it clear? So any other example of a current asset? Inventory, stock or inventory. Those ones you can, it is what you have, that's why you are in business. It turns to cash easily. If anybody calls you now, say, we need 15 bags of cement. You just go into your warehouse or you call them in the warehouse and say, the person is coming to pick 15 bags of cement. Either you are selling to them on credit or you have received your cash. Are we together? Can we move forward? So the formula here is saying assets equals liabilities plus shareholder equities. So now let's go to liabilities. About liabilities. What is a liability? Huh? Okay, one example. Then any other person, liability. FC, I'm coming. Liability. I think Kisho wants to talk.
Liabilities are things that you owe that will form an obligation for you. Examples are salaries, payables, taxes.
Thank you very much. Person, let me go to my FCA now.
Okay, just to add to what she has said. Okay, so the obligations that have a lifespan of 1 year, as you said earlier, in essence, you're expected to meet those obligations within 1 year. You're not expected to go beyond 1 year when it's current. Now, you also have the liabilities that extend beyond 1 year. Okay, those was to the other side of liabilities. Yes, current and long-term liability. So, in a nutshell, they are the things that you owe, not the ones that you not owe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Sorry, let me quickly take us back a step. I'll take us back to assets. We mentioned that there are 2 types of assets, right? Ladies and gentlemen, with your permission, would you believe that there's another type of assets? Huh? Do you agree there's another type of assets? Okay, what is it? Okay, intangible assets. Huh? There are forms of assets. Forms of assets. Thank you very much. Forms of assets. There's what we call assets. In this scenario real quick. Madam Fati is the sister to Aliko Dangote. So Aliko Dangote writes, he gave her complimentary card and wrote on that complimentary card to the owner of UBA and said, please provide all necessary, dear Tony Elumelu, please provide all necessary assistance to, thank you, Aliko, and he signs. If she takes that complimentary card and walks into UBA headquarters in Marina in Lagos, and he said, please, I want to see the chairman. They'll be like, from where? And she brings up that card, and they see the name. What do you think will happen? They will take her through the fastest route to get to where the chairman is. And when she gets to the chairman, good morning, sir. Can I help you? She does not need to say much. She presents the card, complimentary card, and looks at it. What do you think Tony Elumelu will do the next? He got it. How? try and paint a scenario. At that instant, she said she has a business of $200 million and she knows the business is going to do fine. This one, that one. So I promise you, we'll be making billions of naira. This, that, 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 that. At that instance, what do you think Tony Elimoli would do? Huh? What do you think he would do at that point? Huh? Sir? You want to offer, at that point you are talking, you are saying, okay, $200 million, I will make profit in it. The next thing we'll ask for is, where is the business proposal? Are we together? The next thing we'll ask for is, don't tell me, no be church. Let me see it. Let me see the number. And that number is what we've been talking about, your business plan, what you can take to them. And be like, okay, yes, this is good for business. So let me now take us back to the whole process of she going to Dangote and Dangote, I'm sorry, to Tony Elumelu from Dangote, and he says that at that point when she presents the business plan and he looks at it, pages, he has gotten the information he wants. He looks at it. If he does like this, know that he is successful. If he does like this, you look at it and do like this. But at that point when he looks at it and he nods his head, he does what? He picks up the phone and call whoever is available, head of credit or whatever. Chief risk officer, come to my office. That one comes to, we'll just give the person, cut it out. That's all. What has she enjoyed? What has she enjoyed? She has enjoyed goodwill of Aliko's name. It is an asset. Now, let me now come closer. In all our respective organizations, we use different softwares, right? Either SAP, ERP, or we cannot see that software, but we are enjoying the service. Can we see the goodwill of Aliko? No. You can only, intangible assets are assets that you cannot see physically, but you use them, you enjoy them. Are we together? Is that clear? So now, we're talking about liabilities. Liabilities are the obligations that you owe. And just like my Oga said, it's either what you owe within 1 year or what you owe that lasts more than 1 year. So examples of what we owe within a year. Huh? Salaries. If you carry salary, go meet madam, she go use one kind of you. Salaries are not owed. But yes, there are situations where, economic reality can differ, where you can owe salaries, but it is not ideal for any organization to owe salaries. I used to work with one man at some point. Every January, what he's going to pay his employees between January and December, he has already made provision for it, for the year. No story, no, it's not how, sir, you have worked a whole month, you've been in the sun and whatever, and at the end of the month, come to you and say that, sorry, you might need to bear with me. I do that month. I do that month too. The third, when you wake up in the morning, your alarm rings and you be like, you're supposed to be going to the office. You will not be motivated now. You get to the office, maybe you are seeing that the AC is on or they are running the generator on. But because what is in your head is like, okay, school fees is coming or whatever, you even pay attention to the generator that is running in an ungodly hour where you know that saving that diesel cost. But because you are not even focused, you know that, okay, maybe in another 2 hours, madam will call you and she needs also money. You are not in your right frame of mind. So owing salaries is not good for any organization. It's a dent. But yes, reality can come in that, as some organizations will even go as far as, okay, because we want to keep our employees motivated and whatever, there's what we call, what do you call it now? Overdraft, in line with a commercial, that even when we don't have the money, we can spend. When the money comes, you guys will take it back with an interest, so that we will not hold you. So I would not agree. It is a liability, but I would not agree. It should be a custom for organizations to owe salary. Anyways, let's move on. Any other type of current liability? Bank Bank loan, thank you very much, Madam Philomena. But that, I would say, it could come in different forms. It's either a short one or a right? But most, no, and any bank that you walk to that you apply for a loan is, most times is more than a year. It's long term. So bank loan is an example of a long term liability, right? Another example of current liability. Payables. Okay, Madam Philomena. You pay, Yes. So yes. So those ones now, they are, because you pay interest on it every kind of loan now. If it is a current liability, within 1 year you pay them back and you stop paying the interest every year. You are paying that interest every year because the agreement you signed with them is, give me this loan for 4 years and I'll pay you interest of 15% or 27%. That is why it's a long-term liability. You understand? So, but for the loan sharks now, those ones are real quick. The fair money, crash, cash, I don't know what their name is. They'll tell you collect cash for 6 months. Sir? Sir, how do you trade treasury bills? So assets are resources that your company owns and controls. Cash, equipment. So we've talked about current assets and non-current assets. Liabilities are everything that your company owes, what you are owing. For example, buy chemical now. Decide that 200 million. But at that time, you know that you cannot afford to pay that 200 million immediately. What do? You tell the supplier that, please, supply us chemical, but give us 30 to 60. We'll pay you this money. So now you've collected their chemical, you've not paid them. So, but you need to show that you are owing these people this particular money. For example, as men, we are always owing our women by default. Whether, no matter how much you give them on a quarterly basis, you will always owe them. Khadija, am I correct? Eh? Very correct. Even if I decide that, okay, this 15 million, give them 2 weeks. They'll come back to you and say, there's this money you are owing me that you borrowed in 2019 or 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, I've given you cover, but no. Or they'll just tell you that, I saw something now that I know that the children will really like. This one, that one. I've borrowed you the money. You will pay me back. Huh? It's just simple. As well. So liabilities are what we owe to other people. Now, remember I said earlier, as an organization, running your business with is not a bad idea. Sure that is not the one that will stifle your operation. Right? So money you are owing, other people's money that you do your business, not be the one that will give you sleepless nights at the end of the day. Now let me ask you this question. Aliko Dangote has a refinery worth $20 billion. Them $20 billion to come. Do you think that refinery is all Aliko Dangote's money? Huh? Do we think it's all his money? There is liability there. He is owing people, and the owing is not the people he's going to pay in 1 year. It's a long-term liability. We call it other people's money. OPM is part of business operations, is allowed. But don't just go into the ones that will stifle your business operations. Are we together? Now, the third one there is saying shareholders' equity. Shareholder equity is what you, as an organization, you are contributing to the success of that organization in terms of, we call it capital. For example, I want to go to now that I want to get loan to buy a house. They will ask me, okay, just like I mentioned, as individuals, I go to my madam, 220 million naira worth of house. I have 150 million. But if I go to her and say I want to buy a house, the first question she will ask me is, how much do you have? That is what we call equity, shareholders' equity. Are we together? Are we together? So shareholders' equity is everything invested by the shareholders or by the owner of the business. Okay? Or to take it further, to say that it is the profit that an organization retains. So, income statements. We've talked about this earlier. Valentine don't help me. And also I think Mr. Sunday has also helped me to define that. It is a statement that shows your financial performance per time. Income statement shows the profitability of your business. It details how much money your business has earned and how much you have spent. Are we together? That is just what income statement is about. How much have you earned? How much, for example, now we have two types of revenue. From sale of goods, right? Those that are selling. You are selling chemical, you are selling plastic, you are selling biscuits or whatever. Or the one that you earn from services. So for example now, I'm selling ₦5 million worth of bucket. That's revenue. Now at the same time, I'm providing service. I'm saying that, okay, let me go and rental. That is is an additional income. Rent is an additional income apart from maybe as an organization now we are into what's it called, manufacturing, but we have excess funds that we have gotten approval from the management that, okay, go and invest this money. We now look at it that, okay, how can we quickly make money? We decide to construct a building and we are giving it out to people as, what do you call this thing now? Airbnb, like apartments, and we make money from it. We need to recognize that in our books as well. So revenue is from either product sales or services you render. All right? Expenses. What are expenses? What are expenses? Huh? What are expenses? Huh? Can we tell me what expenses are? Okay. There, but let's just talk about it.
So expenses are the cost incurred in generating that revenue. There are some that are direct, there are some that are administrative expenses.
Thank you very much. For say, I know say this kind of people go there, yeah, but no come. But thank you very much. She has done justice to expenses. There are two types of expenses as an organization. Now, for example, I said I'm selling kettles, right? Now, how much is it going to cost me to produce one kettle? And how much is it going to cost me to say producing buckets? So those types of costs are what we call direct costs. The cost of generating our revenue. That is, we are saying that, okay, I'm selling this, this bottled water. Now, this bottled water did not fall from heaven. We incurred some expenses to bring it to this level. Right? So, the cost of this plastic, the cost of this paper on it, is what we call direct cost. We are selling this bottle 100 naira. How much is this plastic costing us and this paper on it? We are saying it's 30 naira. So that 30 naira now is what we call direct cost or cost of goods sold. The cost we are incurring for us to generate revenue. Expenses is what we call expenses. That is the cost we incur in running our business operations. Can you give me examples of operating expenses? Yes, sir. Electricity bills, yes. Salaries and wages, yes. Any other expenses that comes? Huh? Logistics, yes. Thank you very much. Cost of transporting some things to one other place, yes. Tell me one. Fueling, yes. Huh? Repairs and maintenance. Get money from you. Aye. Any other expenses? Good afternoon, ma. You've been very quiet, and you too. I think you were sitting there before you located. Good afternoon, ma. Any other? Okay, now I think we all have an idea. Sir? Statutory payments, yes. I guess we all have an understanding of what our operating expenses are. Just like I'll use man, do you have peace or no peace? Huh? Yes, somebody mentioned the interest. Pay for. These are the expenses we need to pay for. If you give her that money and if you don't give her the money, do you have peace or you don't have peace? If you give, there'll be peace. If you don't give, if there's no peace, same way for our business operations. If we don't spend some of this money, business will not run well. If your business is not properly running, what happens? There will be chaos. If you don't pay your employees when you are supposed to pay them, month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, by the 5th month, what do you think will happen? A lot of people will start having staff turnover. Some people will probably be resigning, or you see some people start carrying what? They'll carry placard. If you don't pay the interest on loan you are owing Madam Funke, what do you think will happen? They will write you the first time, or what they will first do is they will come and. So this one actually happened to when we got loan from BOI then, and we wrote to them that we want to extend our moratorium period and whatever. Because money was as at then, it was a whole lot of money, almost $20 million. We were like, what's going on? They didn't respond to our letter first. What they just did was, they just said they came to pay us courtesy visit. They want to come and see if our MD has started using a brand new G-Wagon, or if the employees are parking Prados up and down and whatever. So they came and, we had to have conversations with them. And we told them, okay, yes, we brought in the equipment, you guys have seen it, but challenges here and there and whatever. So they understood with us. So imagine if they come into our office, they now see that in our office, we went to a bigger building, we have a car park, you are seeing about 25 cars, brand new. You walk into the elevator, go to MD's office, blah, blah, blah. You get to MD's office, it's very wide. You are talking to the MD, the man is sitting there, you are here. Tell you to put on your mic and be talking the same. What did come to their head? They have lavished their money, they'll be like, okay, so this is what you people are doing here. No problem. They'll go back to the office and write to the and tell these guys. But when they came, they saw that these guys are actually having issues. We showed them the numbers. And they went back, they called us for another meeting and we restructured the loan and all. So what I'm saying in essence is there are some expenses that you have to incur to ensure that your business stays healthy. If you don't incur those kind of expenses, your business will be sick. The organization will not work fine. If you are not paying your tenement rates within when you are supposed to pay, the local government or the authorities can come and lock your office. And meanwhile, your workers are supposed to be in the factory operating some machines there for you to make sales. If you don't do that, what happens? They will be locked outside. The machines will not work. You'll not be able to generate money. If you are not paying your employees, what happens? They won't come to work. Or maybe you are supposed to have about 10, 15 people on a particular machine. But because you didn't pay them, so many of them resigned, you're only left with 3. How do you expect 3 people to do the job of 15 people and you expect them to be very efficient? If you are not paying everybody, you are coming in from, you are bringing people into your office, and immediately they get into your office within 3 to 5 minutes. They are sweat. That's the question they will ask, because I can't go there and be sweating. No. Those are the kind of costs. But now imagine all of us being in here right now. These ACs are not working. What do you think will be happening? Everywhere will be hot. Everybody will be feeling somehow like, what's going on? So operating expenses are expenses you incur to ensure that your business run properly. Now, the difference between what you have generated as income, what you have expended, is called what? Not the accountants, not the finance people. It's called what? The difference between what you have generated and what you have spent is called what? Eh? It's called profit. Thank you very much. So what this income statement is showing us basically is, it shows us if you are profitable within a period of time or not. As in I mentioned to us that every second Sunday. Sir, you want to say something? Yes, sir. Yes. Profit. Negative. It is what? It is a loss. May we not do business and run into a loss. So as I was saying, as individuals now, every second Sunday of the year, I'll sit down and we'll look at our budget or our previous financial year. And my husband also is doing well. Now we look at our expenses. Our budget was we had to spend 30 million. Yeah. But how much did we end up spending? We spent about 15 million. We have overspent. We are spending 75 million. And what we generated is just 5 million. So how did you, the question is, the 75 million that you spent and the 25 million that you say you generated, there's a difference of 50 million. Ladies and gentlemen, where did you get the money from? That question. Eh? She said loan. Okay, loan, yes, that's one. Any other suggestion? Yeah? If, as an organization, your budget or whatever, your income is 50, you look at your expenses. Your expenses is 100 million. So, the difference between what you generated and what you expended, where did you get that? First of all, your expenses is 100 million, and you said you have generated 50 million. There's a difference of 50 million, right? Where did you get that 50 million that you spent? Or either you borrow money, or as individuals, maybe you don't borrow. These are the things they will look out for. Like, okay, generated, what's it called? You are spending so much. And if they are not seeing the effects in either your, maybe they are not seeing that you have collected loan, or your retained earnings has reduced. So where's the money from? That means to them now, Madam Funke will tell you that there's creative accounting in this book.
If I'm correct, ma. Other income. Other what? Can you define the other income in this situation? Eh? Eh, like what now? Tell us. Eh? Other side also, like as an organization. All right, so net income is the difference between your revenue and all your expenses, including the taxes you are supposed to pay and everything. Ladies and gentlemen, we still have a long way to go because we have a slow start, but at this point I would say let's go for our tea break because I'm seeing that some of us are already getting, they are doing like vegetable leaf and all that. So let's just quickly go on our tea break and we'll be back so that we can now fire down like we should. Thank you very much. We'll see you in another 30 minutes.